Om Vakradunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We have seen the first Dhyana Shloka. That Shloka is a Prarthana Shloka. The Prarthana, the prayer verse is on Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita looked upon as the mother. So the prayer, Namaskara, is offered. Then the next Shloka is a Namaskara Shloka, Prarthana Shloka to the author, the very author of the Gita, who is Vyasacharya. So let us read this Dhyana Shloka number 2. We can repeat. Namostute Vyasa Vishala Buddhe Pullara Vindayata Patra Netra.
Namostu Vyasa Vishala Buddhe Pullara Yatapatra Nedra
Yena Tvaya Bharata Taila Purnaha Prajvalito Jnanamaya Pradipaha.
Yena Tvaya Bharata Taila Purnaha Prajvalito Jnanamaya Pradipaha.
So, Hey Vyasa, Sambodhana. Namaha Astu. Let the Namaskara be. Te is to you. Taba. Let the Namaskara be unto you. So Vyasa is Sambodhana. Hey Vyasa. Vishala Buddhi. The one whose Buddhi is Vishala. Vishala means vast, wide. The one whose knowledge is wide. Why it is said like that? Because there are no topics which are not covered in the Mahabharata. What is not covered anywhere is covered in Mahabharata. And what is not covered in Mahabharata is not covered anywhere. There is a beautiful statement. It means everything is covered in Mahabharata. Mahabharata talks on sociology, economy, politics, warfare, archery, so many topics it talks about, and about Atma Vidya. So all the Vidya, both Paravidya and Aparavidya, everything is talked about in the Mahabharata. If everything is talked about in Mahabharata, written by Vyasacharya, then Vyasacharya must be having wide knowledge. His knowledge must be wide. Therefore, Vishala Buddhi, one whose Buddhi is Vishala. Therefore, addressing A Vishala Buddhi. Pulla Arvinda Yatapatra Netra. Aravinda means lotus. Pulla Arvinda, blossomed, fully blossomed lotus. Ayata Patra Netra. Netra is eyes. But the one who has the eyes, Patra here means not leaf. It's a Patra here means the petal. So the one who has the eyes like that of a fully blossomed lotus. His eyes are praised. Why the eyes are praised? Netra, because he has got the vision. He could penetrate through any subject matter and elaborate. And his eyes are also beautiful. That is beautiful. Not we can take literally, or we can take that he has got the wonderful vision of any subject matter. Of course, when it comes to Gita, Atma Vidya is Jnani, he knows this truth. Therefore, He Vyasa, He Vishala Buddhe, He Pullar Vindai Tapatranita. All the three words are Sambodhana, addressing. Yena Tvaya Bharata Taila Purnaha Prajvalitaha Jnanamaya Pradipaha. By whom? By whom? By what? Tvaya, by you. By you what? Is Mahabharata. Bharata Taila Purnaha. Bharata is Mahabharata. Taila means oil. The light of knowledge. Pradipaha is light. Jnanamayaha means that is in the form of knowledge. The lamp of knowledge. Pradipaha meaning lamp, the light. Jnanamayaha means in the form of jnanam. So the light in the form of knowledge, it is kindled. Prajvalitaha. By whom? By Vyasacharya. How the light is lit up? By the oil of Mahabharata. So Mahabharata is compared to the oil, and the oil keeps sustaining the knowledge. Many knowledge, not only Paravidya, not only Gita. As I told, it has got Aparavidya also. In Gita only, it is there Vidura Gita. Vidura Gita talks on how to run a kingdom, how to rule a kingdom, how the Raja should be. Many values are talked about. So it deals with many subject matter. All are knowledge, and this knowledge is kindled by or continuously, for which the oil, the fuel is supplied by the Mahabharata. The Mahabharata is that what sustains this lamp of knowledge. That's what it means. Enatoya Bharata Taila Purnaha. O Vyasa, the one whose intellect is vast, whose eyes are clear, and as pleasing as a fully blossomed lotus, who lit the lamp of knowledge well by filling it with the oil of Mahabharata. To you, my salutations, my namaskaraha, namaskaraha, namaha astu. The vastness of Vyasa's intellect. Shakespeare's intellect has been described as the platform of the world upon which its drama unfolds. He was able to write excellent characterizations for the stages of the world. Similarly, in this verse, Vyasa is described as one whose intellect, whose knowledge is vast. He wrote thousands of verses, meaning that they simply flowed out of him. There is a story told that when Vyasa was planning to write the Mahabharata, he wanted to dictate the epic to a stenographer. Who was the stenographer? We'll see. Ganapati. Ganapati himself became the stenographer for Vyasacharya. Because there was no shorthand at that time, stenographers had to write very quickly in the long hand. But no human being could take dictation from Vyasa because his mind was so quick and clear. He just reeled out the verses and no one could hope to keep up with him. So he asked Lord Ganesha, Ganapati, to be his stenographer. Ganesha agreed on the condition that Vyasa would not stop dictating once he began. It means you should continuously start dictating the verses. You should not pause thinking that that is not allowed. You should keep on dictating. The verses should flow continuously from him. Then only I would take up, said Ganesha. Vyasa agreed, but he also had a condition that Ganesha should understand everything he said in every sense. That is a condition, beautiful condition, a counter condition. Whatever Ganesha writes, hearing from Vyasacharya, that Ganesha should understand and write. He should not just a stenographer, not just writing what Vyasacharya says, understand and write. So that's why he said like that. So when Vyasacharya dictates some words which are intricate, which are profound, Ganesha will pause and he has to think. That he has to pause and think for something. Then only he can write. By the time Vyasacharya will be prepared with another thousands of verses, he'll be ready with that. So he'll get time. So that is the counter. For that only counter condition he gave. Agreeing to this condition, Ganesha pulled out one of his tusks. That is why you will see Ganesha. If you see any picture of Ganesha, you will have only one tusk completely. Another tusk is broken because he broke that. He pulled out one of the tusks and he sharpened it, and with it he wrote Vyasa's Mahabharata on palm leaves. That is why Lord Ganesha is portrayed as having only one tusk. There is another story also being told that to kill some Rakshasa, he pulled out this tusk and used it as an arrow. That is also is told. Anyway, but the popular the story is this story. He pulled out his tusk and used it as a pen for writing the dictation of the verses of Vyasacharya. In the Mahabharata, you will find for the most part simple descriptive verses. But every once in a while, there will be a verse which is all profound, a purple verse with different meanings. The reason Vyasa did this was so that he could have a breather, could have time. Because Ganesha understood so easily what was being written, Vyasa had to throw out a difficult verse whenever he wanted a break. If we count these verses, then we can find out how many times he stopped. By the time Ganesha figured out the meaning, Vyasacharya had his time out and was ready to begin again. That is Vyasa. This is Vyasa. The clarity of Vyasa's vision. Vyasa had beautiful big eyes. They are described in this verse as being like a fully blossomed lotus. The eyes that are clear and pleasing. Vyasa is also compared here to a lamp that sheds light, the light of knowledge. Jnanamaya Pradipaha. The lamp is very well lit. He is therefore the one who lights the lamp of knowledge for us. The lamp that was lit by Vyasa is filled with the oil of Mahabharata. Lamp requires oil. The lamp of knowledge requires here support of the oil, the Mahabharata. This epic is considered to be the fifth Veda, Panchamo Vedaha. Mahabharata is considered to be the fifth Veda because it is true to the knowledge found in the Vedas. It seems to have been written for the sole purpose of lighting up this knowledge. When a small object is presented against a much larger background, its beauty is often more evident. Mahabharata is like a canvas from whose vast background the Vedic knowledge emerges. Knowledge is a lamp, and the epic is its fuel. The fuel is for the lamp is not for the fuel. This verse then is paying tribute to Vyasa, who lit up the wisdom of the Vedas with the oil of the Mahabharata. So unto you, Vyasacharya, who lit the lamp of knowledge with his epic fuel, my salutations, my namaskaraha, namaha te astu iti. This is the second shloka. Then the third shloka, through that shloka, Jnana shloka, we offer namaskara to Bhagavan Krishna. We will read that. Prapannaparijataya. Please chant.
Prapannaparijataya
Totravetraikapanaye.
Totravaitrikatpanaye
Jnanamudraya Krishnaya.
Jnanamudraya Krishnaya
Gita Mrutaduhe Namaha.
Namaduhe Namaha.
So Namaha. Kasmai Namaha, to whom we offer namaskara, to Krishna. Krishnaya Namaha. And yes, the Jnana Mudra, he shows by his hand, the gesture, Jnana Mudra, like the Kshinamurti, Chin Mudra, that is called Jnana Mudra. Through the Mudra, he teaches the knowledge, he gives the knowledge. Jnana Mudraya Krishnaya. And Gita Mrita Duhe. Dukh means to milk. So he was a milker, or he milked what Gita Mritam, Gita which is Amrita. Gita is Amrita, drinking which a person becomes immortal. Therefore, Gita Mrita Duhe, to the milker, who milked the nectar called Gita, to him my namaskara. Prapanna Parijataya. Parijata is a vriksha, is a tree, wish fulfilling tree, considered to be in Devaloka. So Bhagavan Krishna is like a Parijata vriksha, wish fulfilling tree. To whom? Prapanna. Those who have surrendered to him. Those who have surrendered to him means surrendered to the teaching. Completely surrendered. Shraddha. That is the idea. Shraddha. Having Shraddha in the words of The Lord, those people who have Shraddha, for him is like a parijata. He fulfills their wishful tree. Totra vetraika panaye. Pani means hand. Ekapani means in one hand. Totra vetraika, who has a whip. Who has a whip in one hand. In one hand he has got a whip. Where? If you see the picture of the Krishna driving the chariot of the Arjuna, you will see in one hand is driving the chariot, and in the other hand he shows the Jnana Mudra. Totra vetraika pani, to the one who has got a whip in one hand. Unto the one who is a fulfilling tree, for those who have surrendered, who has a whip in one hand and the symbol of knowledge in the other, and who milks the nectar that is Gita, unto that Krishna my salutations. Krishna as a wish fulfilling tree. In this third Dhyana Shloka, Lord Krishna is likened to a wish fulfilling tree said to be found in heaven, Swarga. Whatever you wish for while sitting under this tree immediately appears in front of you. That is why it's called wish fulfilling tree, Parajata Vriksha. Krishna is this wish fulfilling tree for those who have surrendered unto him. To them, he is a giver of everything. Krishna's control. In one hand, he is holding the whip with which he drives the horses. His other hand assumes the gesture symbolizing knowledge. This means that Krishna doesn't give up the job of charioteer when Arjuna wants to be taught. Important. Both knowledge and action. So he plays the role of both the driver as well as the teacher. So when Arjuna is to be taught, Krishna doesn't give up his job of driving the chariot. Right in the middle of the battlefield, when Arjuna wants to know, Krishna assumes the role of a teacher. Knowing full well that Arjuna would fight, Krishna did not drop the whip. Therefore, only Arjuna dropped his bow and arrows, but Krishna kept the whip in his hand. He loosened the reins for the interim, but everything was under control. Unto the one who thus holds the symbol of knowledge, I offer my salutations, namaskara. What is the Chin Mudra, that Jnana Mudra, that is explained, the symbol of knowledge? We offer our salutations not to the symbol of knowledge, but to the one who has this knowledge of non-duality, which cannot be negated. The symbol of knowledge, Jnana Mudra, is formed. That is called the Jnana Mudraya. Jnana Mudra is the Chin Mudra. Jnana Mudraya, the one who is holding this mudra in his hand. It is formed by joining the three fingers and separating them from the index finger. The index finger then joins with the thumb to form a circle. The index finger, also called the accusing finger, stands for the self and usually joins the other three, representing the body, mind, senses. By separating them out, we see that the body, mind, senses are all anatma, not I. One generally thinks that these are atma. They are not. They are all anatma and are therefore to be understood as such. Whatever is not anatma is the self and is revealed by the teaching as identical with the limitless Brahman represented by the thumb. Without the thumb, the fingers cannot grasp anything. It is important that the thumb be away from the fingers in order to do so. Similarly, the limitless Brahman is away from, unattached to the body, mind, and senses. At the same time, without the limitless Brahman, the body and mind and senses have no being, much less any function. Previously, we thought of ourselves as limited. The circle created by the index finger and thumb signifies that because we now have the knowledge of non-duality, the sense of limitation is gone. Just as a circle has no beginning and no end, we know ourselves to be limitless. That is what the circle, what you formed by the Chin Mudra, represents. Circle stands for the whole. It's a whole Purnam. It is complete. So it is the sense of limitation. It's because circle has no beginning and no end. Anadi, Anantaha. Therefore, it is limitless. That is what the circle symbolizes when you join the thumb with the index finger. Other three fingers stands for Anatma, and with the thumb and the index finger you form a circle, Chin Mudra, and three fingers are kept away from this. And also say this thumb is like Atma, it represents the Atma, and this Jivatma has to bend and merge with the index thumb. So that is the meaning of the mudra, Chin Mudra, otherwise called Jnana Mudra. Chin Mudra is Chit Mudra, otherwise called Jnana Mudra. gesture. Krishna, the giver of the nectar of Gita. Krishna is likened to milk, and Krishna is the one who provides the milk. From where does the milk come? From the Shruti. Therefore, all the Vedas, the Upanishads are likened to a cow, its milk being the Gita. And to Krishna, the one who gives out the nectar, that is the Gita, that is to me my salutations. So, the milk Gita is milked by Bhagavan Krishna, and therefore to him I offer my namaskara. Therefore, the third shloka is a dhyana shloka, it's a prarthana verse to Bhagavan Krishna. And in the fourth shloka, this Gita, the teaching of Gita is being praised. Let us chant that. Sarvopanishado gavaha
Sarvopanishado gavaha
Ogda Gopalanandanaha
Mukta Gophalanandanaha
Partho Vatsasudhir Bhokta
Pardo Vasta Sudhi Bhokta
Dugdam Gita Amritam Mahat
Yuktam Gita Mridam Mada.
So, Sarva Upanishado Gavaha. All the Upanishads are like a cow. And Gopalanandaha is the Bhagavan Krishna, he is the Gopalanandanaha, and he is a Dogda, he is the milker. Sir, all the Upanishads are compared to the cows, and the milker is the Krishna, Bhagavan Krishna. And Partha, Arjuna is Vatsa, the calf. Partha is the Vatsa. And the Arjuna is ready, is a disciple ready for receiving the teaching. Therefore, Sudhihi, Bhokta, he is got the Buddhi. Dhi means Buddhi. Sushtu Dhihi. He has got the preparedness on the part of the student Arjuna is indicated by the word Sudhihi, and he is the Bhokta, the enjoyer of the teaching, enjoyer of the milk, enjoyer of this nectar called Gita, which is compared to the milk. So the Partha being a Vatsa, a calf, therefore he drinks this milk of Gita, the nectar of Gita, the nectar Gita. Dugdam Gita Amritam Bhagate. That Dugdam is milk. This Gita Amritam, Gita, which is Amritam, the nectar, that is a milk, great milk. For whom? For the Partha, who is the Bhokta, the enjoyer of that. So the Upanishads are the cow, the joy of cowards. Krishna is the one who milks. Arjuna is the calf. The one whose mind is clear is the one who drinks the milk. And the invaluable, timeless Gita is the milk. So cows, milk, calf, and the milker. Four things are there. Cows are there. Who are the cows? Upanishads are the cow. And who is a calf? Arjuna is a calf. Who is a milker? Krishna is a milk. And what is milk? The Gita, which is compared to the milk. Because the teaching of the Gita and the teaching of Upanishads are not different, same. Tatparya being same, therefore Gita is the milk. And there are many Upanishads, therefore Upanishads Bhagavachanam. Upanishado Gavaha, Upanishadaha Gavaha, and Gita is only one. So from that Upanishads cows are different. From all the cows, what we get by milking, you get only milk. The milk is common in all the cows. Upanishads may be different, but the teaching of the Upanishads being the same, and that is compared to the milk. The milk is same. Even though the cows are different, the milk is same. Not that the different cows give different milk. So that milk is compared to the Gita. The Gita is the milk. Therefore, the first two verses praise the Gita and Vyasa, because the Gita was taught to Arjuna by Lord Krishna. Is praised in the third verse as the teacher of the Gita, as Gita Acharya. In the fourth verse, the nature of Gita and the Lord are both mentioned. In this shloka, the nature of Gita as well as the Lord are both mentioned. This is the subject matter of Gita, and it is being praised here. The Upanishads and the Gita as a cow and its milk. All of the Upanishads are taken into account in the Gita. To present the Gita as the essence of Upanishads, a popular imagery is used in this verse. Here the cow, a symbol of wealth and sanctity, is presented to represent all of the Upanishads. Together they form the body of the cow. If the Upanishads are the cow, then its milk is the Gita. Therefore, Upanishads form the body of knowledge from which the essence, the Gita, is milked by the milker, Bhagavan Krishna. Therefore, Krishna as the milkman. Who is a milkman? Nowadays, milking is all done by machines, but previously it was not easy to coax milk from a cow. The cow has its own moods and will not yield for just by anyone. In this verse, Krishna is acknowledged as the best milkman. Born into the family of a milkman in a cowherd community, that is why it's called Gopal Anandanaha. Krishna did not need to be taught how to milk a cow. Even from cows with the empty udders, Krishna was able to get milk. Just as he could get milk from a cow, Krishna is able to milk the Upanishads. He knows exactly what the subject matter is. In fact, he is the subject matter. Since he knows the subject matter so well, he is the best one to milk the Upanishads. Milk is the essence of the cow in that many things a cow eats are all converted into milk. In the same manner, Upanishads talk about a variety of topics, but it is all converted into the milk of Vedanta Shastra, Brahma Vidya, and Yoga Shastra. That is Jnana Yoga and Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga dealt in the Karma Kanda, the first portion of the Veda, and Brahma Vidya, Jnanam is talked about in the Vedanta. So the whole Veda, the Vedanta Shastram. These are the two important topics in all the Upanishads. They form the milk, and there can be no better milkman than Krishna. That we can know very well when we study Gita. Lord Krishna as Gopala Nandana, the joy of cowards. Lord Krishna is referred to as Gopala Nandana, the joy of cowards. The word go in Sanskrit not only means cow, it also means words and earth. That's why the word Govinda, Gam Bindati di Govindaha. The go means cow. It has got other meaning also, words and earth. The one who gives meaning to all of these words is Lord Krishna. And the one who nourishes and sustains the earth with life is also Lord Krishna. In this verse is also referred to as a milkman who is the joy of all the cows because he is a nourisher and protector of cows. So we can take the meaning of the word go to be words in the sense that Shastra being Shabda Pramanam. So Bhagavan Krishna, he interprets or he unlocks the Pramanam and teaches as a Lord. He taught this to Rishis and now he is teaching to Arjuna. That is the idea here. Then Arjuna, the cause of the Gita. We saw before, Arjuna is the nimittam. Because of him only the Gita was taught and we also could get. Therefore, Arjuna, the cause. A cow produces milk for the sake of its calf. Here also there must be a calf to generate the milk, that is the Gita. Arjuna, Partha is a Vatsa, the calf, because he is instrumental in drawing the Gita out from Krishna. Just as the cow's milk is born for the sake of the calf, the Gita was born for the sake of Arjuna. Since the calf cannot take all of the milk produced by the cow, there is extra milk for the people. The same way, Arjuna acquired the milk of the Gita and others also are the partakers of it. We are the partakers. So, Arjuna, the calf, on behalf, he was the one who received the milk directly and through him we are also receiving the nectar of Gita. Partakers of the Gita. Unlike the milk from the cow, the milk of the Gita is endless. The enjoyer of this milk is the one whose mind is clear and who has discrimination. So that is why Sudhihi, the word is used. The one whose mind is clear. Whose mind will be clear? The one who has got Viveka, Nitya Nitya Vastu Viveka, who has got that discriminating capability. His mind alone will be clear, ready to understand. It means sadhana chatushtaya sampatti ityartaha. Well prepared person, adhikari. That is the meaning. The person who is capable of inquiry, Sudhi is a partaker of this milk. He is ready for inquiry. He has got Shraddha in Shastram and he has got Sadhana Chatushtayam. Therefore, he is the partaker of this milk. Anybody having this could be the partaker of this milk, provided fulfilling the conditions to be adhikari. Therefore, the Gita is likened to milk because it is nourishing to all. Milk is a complete food, a universal food. The message of the Gita is also universal. It is applicable to everyone at any time or place because it deals with certain facts that do not change with time or place. Therefore, the message of the Gita is universal, irrespective of time, place, whichever country, whichever origin, whichever language. The message of the Gita is universal because the topic is you. Therefore, it is universal. Then the timelessness of the subject matter, that which doesn't change that which doesn't change is the very subject matter of the Gita. Atma, that is Brahma, is the topic. That doesn't change with the time, with the place. That which is changeless, that is the topic of the subject. That is the topic, the subject matter of the Gita. And is therefore described here as Amrita. There are many meanings for the word Amrita, but the one that is most relevant here is that which is not subject to death. Whatever is not bound by time doesn't undergo any change. That which immortalizes you, nourishes you, makes you happy is considered to be Amrita. Anyone can take it. It is applicable to all. This timeless nectarine Gita is described here as something that becomes more available the more it is given. The milk of Gita is knowledge. The more knowledge you give, the more you have, because as you keep giving, the knowledge becomes clearer and clearer for you. So we will stop here. And fifth shloka is also a Pratana shloka on Bhagavan Krishna that we will see in the next class. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Dhanyavadaha.